I've got Tony Palmer, ladies' first team manager, with me today, and the announcement that at the end of this month, after 4 seasons with the club, that he will be leaving his post as the ladies' first team manager. How are you, Tony?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good. So the announcement is that you're leaving at the end of the month. What's the reason behind that?
Um, it was one of them where obviously I tried to put everything into this season, um, everything what I've got in the tank really to try and push the team forward. And I didn't really want to end it as it is with the COVID-19, but I've had to make some rash decisions. Main reason is family commitments as well. So I'm trying to, I think over the COVID-19, try and spend some more time with the family. I've missed out sort of the 4 years, sort of applying it into football. With having a full-time job and trying to manage a part-time job, you sort of miss out on the family basis as well. So it was trying to get a bit of family time with the family, and we're sort of looking to move as well. So my house is still on the market at the moment, so we're trying to move on, and that obviously that will affect it. Hopefully, we'll try and get that sold in the next month, and you know, if we move in the next month, then it obviously will affect how much I can put into the team. Where, as you know me personally, I'll try and apply everything I can into a team. If I can't do that, then I'll step away. It's no use going to a team half-heartedly. So I've made a decision that I wouldn't be able to put all the full amount of time into the team that it needed this year, and that team needs and what it's got at the moment. I think it's a great team, and we're sort of finishing the season in the top three. But I think we can push on and try and win the league next year. With just a couple of more players out of that, we could go on. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's sad news that you're leaving after 4 years, and the hard work that you've put in over the 4 years has sort of seen a little transition in terms of how we sort of run that senior section in that first team. It's been quite a dramatic change from previous years to that. What would be the point that you would put on that? Why did that have to change, and what do you think has got better?
I think when I came into the club, 4 years ago, we had some really good individual, technical, gifted players. But we did quite well the first year. But I just thought we just needed a bit more sort of personality to gel together, and a bit more quality and a bit more sort of personality put into that squad. So we sort of got a few personality players, some players that I've worked before, previous clubs at Forest and Derby and things like that. We brought them into the club, and we started to gradually build that team to how we want to play. So obviously the philosophy of the club, we want to work as a team, collectively and togetherness, and that's what I tried to do. I worked as philosophy of the club and try and sort of implement some of my ideas and to try and take this team forward. And sort of gradually, step by step, we've done that. And I think, over the 4 years, I feel quite proud that, the club's grown massively as a whole, but also the team's grown in personality and quality as well. So, yeah, I think I can leave sort of thinking I've done quite a decent job over the 4 years.
Yeah, I think that's exception. I think that, like you say, the experience and those extra bits of quality, those extra procedures and policies and philosophies and ethoses make a big difference. Have made a big difference in the squad, and I think not just for now, for going forward as well within the future, whether we lose or not. I think they've been implemented really, really well. If I could look back on that them sort of 4 years just for a moment, and those 4 years, what was probably the worst time for you? Was there a time where it was particularly difficult?
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, I think you sort of got to, you'll get your highs and lows. One time you can be up there, one time you can be at the bottom. It's never good as a coach where you're at the bottom. The team lose a bit of confidence. I think the previous year before that, even though we was playing sort of decent football, we sort of weren't getting the results. And we sort of lost our way a bit, not in game time, but just winning the games, just grinding out games, and sometimes when you're at the bottom, the team lose confidence, and it's trying to instill them, self-belief in it. And then we sort of got out of that rut and pushed on a little bit towards the end of the season. So I think as a coach, inside you still have that feeling where when things aren't going so well for you, that is it my fault? You sort of look at yourself. Have I applied myself? Have I applied to the team properly? And you do question yourself sometimes. But I think with the experience I've had over the last 20 years, I knew we would get out the rut, and like I say, we worked hard and pulled and started to work the way back up the table. But I think results-wise, you do look at that. And you think, if we was playing as a team and playing really well, we'd get the results. But some games we was doing that, but we wasn't quite getting the results. But I think you just have to believe in yourself and sort of get the team to build the confidence and the personality back, and sort of drive forward and believe in themselves to get them results again. But I think there was one season where it wasn't so great and it didn't go to plan, but we managed to pull it around towards the end of the season and build on from that. But the rest of the other 3 seasons, I think we've been in the top 3 a few times. So we've been up there for quite a few years, and we just missed out really. Yeah.
What's the so in terms of sort of highlights then? Is there any particular highlights that you'd pick out for over the 4 years that really sort of make you feel proud, or think, do you know what, this is really a great place to be?
Yeah, I think there's some coaches that just want results all the time and want the wins, and that's what we really want to try and to win the league. But for me, pleasingly, it's the way we've played the games in some matches, and the way we've kept the ball, moved it around, and and the team's confidence and driving forward. And I've tried to get the girls, play on the front foot, let's drive forward, take the game to the opposition. Don't be frightened to make mistakes. Play as you feel inside, and be creative and do things that you want to do on the pitch. And a few players have stepped up to the plate and done that, and it's pleasing. Not watching the results, but it's the way you dominate games and keep possession, and you do so well in a game, and you think there was no way that opposition was going to win the game, and I come off the pitch thinking, after the training sessions when we implement some strategies that we've applied in training and it works on the pitch, I think that's probably one of the main highlights for me. When you see them work hard in training, you think, hang on, and they put it into the game, and you can see the girls' faces when they smile that it's worked, and it's great when the girls come off the pitch with smiles on their faces. That's what it's all about, enjoying it and playing good football. Yeah.
So just onto sort of over the years, sort of part of the club and sort of implementing obviously a lot of detail into the club of its philosophy of making sure that we work with one club. How the coaches that you've worked with, coaches that obviously you've brought in, what would you say to them over the course of the years? Would you say that they've improved as many coaches under yourself?
Yeah, I think I've tried to just give them some advice. Some of the coaches I've brought in have got that experience, and they've played football at high level as well, so they know the game. But I just think as managers, you sort of got to take on board the players and recognise the person in that player as well. So what makes him tick out of the game and what makes him tick in the game. And it's sort of recognising how you're going to get the best out of the players. So what I would say as a coach is sort of do a personal development plan on each player, recognise the strengths and weaknesses, build on both, but also, like I say, recognise because they've got full-time jobs. Are they tired when they come in? What affects them out of the friends, what they've got, and try and sort of build a little relationship with them and sort of recognise how you're going to make them tick on the pitch and, like I say, off the pitch as well, and just implement sort of strategies to give them the best they can. I've always said at the start of the season, I'll be honest with you, and I'll give you everything we can to try and make you a better player. And I think a lot of them have really done really well this year. Yeah.
So in terms of players, is there any players in particular that you feel standing out in the last 4 years for you?
I think, we've got some players that stuck with us from day one. They've been, as soon as I stepped in the door, they've stuck with us, and there's no really individual player that's stood out. I think the whole team stood out this year, to be honest with you. And like I say, I think we're going to have an awards night by satellite, but and it's been difficult to sort of pick individual. I think as a team, sometimes as a coach, when you give your awards out, it's easy to pick one certain player, but I think I found it quite difficult this year to sort of pick out, player of the season and who's developed the most. There's quite a few younger players that's come in that's you've done well, like Ellie Marshall and Katie's, kicked on again. And there's some players that's come in like Chloe Foster, an experienced player who's done well. Zoe's been in and out of the season. So, there's quite a lot of players. Georgina, very experienced player. There's people who turn up training week in, most week out. There's Chloe Elphick. The Hattie's come in. I can name the whole team, to be honest with you. And if I've left someone off, it's nothing against anyone. I just think, as a whole, I think the team, I've really enjoyed the team this year. And like I say, it's sad that this COVID-19's kicked in, and people know that I work in a nursing role, and I'm working full on dealing with that as well. And it can become tiring dealing with that, and bringing it back into the home. I've got to watch it, so it's difficult times for everyone at the moment. I didn't really want to leave halfway through the season. I wanted to finish on high, whether we could finish in promoting or in the top two. I wanted to finish on high. Yes, we're in the top three, but I wanted to see that right through this season and see how good we could have got at the end of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly a shame that it's had to come to an abrupt end, but obviously quite rightly so as well. So just on a final note, Tony, just from the club perspective, obviously you've done a fantastic role. We're very, very sad to see you leave. Do you have a message for everyone within the club as a final message?
Yeah, I think the final message is, like I say, stick together, work hard as a team, try and work with all the coaches you've got, and sort of implement everything you've got into the next season. Because the team we've got now, I believe that they will go on and win that league next year. But they've just got to make sure the coaches and the staff and all the players prepare well. I know it's going to be difficult, because we never know when the pre-season is going to start or what's happening at the moment. But what I would say is try and keep your fitness levels right up. Try and sort of carry on training in the garden, whether it's by yourself or with your family member, and just make sure you're sort of ready because it will change quickly. And I think it probably may September time, you could be going back out there now in September and starting that. And that's when I think the league probably may start to kick off in September. So you've got to make sure the 2 months, what you've got left, June, July, sort of into August, that you prepare really well and don't take your foot off the gas.
Yeah, Tony, thank you ever so much for your time, and the last 4 years for the club have been absolutely instrumental, and we thank you, and we'll always be grateful, and you'll always be welcome at the club. Just again expressing the thanks is what on the last moment is just to your coaching staff that you've brought in. Is there any message to your coaching staff?
Yeah, like I said, I brought 3 of the staff in. They know how I work. They know how the team works. They know what they need to build on. Try and create. I've sort of at the start of the season, I've got them working with every individual player, trying to give them a development plan for each player. And we also need, what I would say, try and develop a team philosophy this year for yourself. So we know the club's philosophy, but if you give the team a philosophy to sort of take on board yourself and stick with that. And like I say, it will be teamwork to win this league. And that's what they need to do. So build some sort of philosophy or some sort of team arrangement where you want to build and make sure you stick to the plan. What I would say as a coach over the 20 years, if don't change your course of plan. If you've got a plan at the start of the season and it's not working, don't change it quickly. Stick with that plan and try and build on that plan and get what you want out of it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Tony, for your time, and like I say, all the best for the future. And I'm more than sure that we'll see you soon.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.